Hey YouTubers, I'm in my yard on a beautiful fall afternoon and I've got about 3 acres of property here. About 1 acre is lawn and the rest is woods, and so I'm surrounded on 360 degrees by trees which are going to start dropping leaves pretty soon here. So I added a new gas-powered Stihl SH86c blower vacuum to my tool shed, and I want to talk about that a little bit, but I also want to talk about gas versus electric and maybe help you decide which you need, or maybe like me you'd prefer to have both. Now, about 2 years ago, my old blower and vacuum shredder that I had, which was made by a brand I won't mention, Husqvarna, bit the dust, and that's when I got this electric unit. And this is a game changer. This is the BGA57. With a battery in it, it weighs about 7 pounds. I'm looking at the stats here. It's about 59 decibels, so it's much quieter than the gasoline. It has an air velocity of 123 miles an hour and blows 365 cubic feet per minute. Okay? Now, this gas unit weighs about 12 pounds. It has a sound pressure rating of about 70 decibels. There's a big difference between 59 decibels and 70 decibels. A maximum air velocity of 170 versus the 123 of the electric, and it moves 444 cubic feet per minute versus the 365 cubic feet per minute. So there's no question that the gasoline is more powerful, but it's also heavier, and the difference in power is not as much as you might think. My old gasoline-powered leaf blower I kept in the shed, and I only used it on the days I was working in the yard mowing grass. And it did a fine job, or of course in the fall when I was cleaning up leaves. This darn thing is so convenient. Just pop a battery in it, squeeze the trigger, and go. I keep this in my garage, and of course I use it when I'm working in the yard, and I've used it for 2 seasons to clean up leaves, but I also use it when there's just a few leaves in the garage. It's easier to blow them out than to move the cars out of the garage and get a broom and sweep them out. I use it just to tidy up the patio when I'm going to be out here cooking, blow a few leaves off the sidewalk, and I actually use it to dry off my cars after I wash them. It's just very versatile and very easy to use, and so I find that I use it several times a week instead of just once a week or so. And like I say, I have about 1 acre of lawn. So if you've got 1 acre or less, and unless you're surrounded by trees the way I am, you probably don't really need a gas-powered unit. You'll probably be a lot happier with an electric unit. Now, this has 3 different size batteries you can get it. There's the AK10, the AK20, and the AK30. I have 2 of the AK30s and 1 AK20 battery. Now, the 20 batteries in here run about 20 minutes. The 30 batteries in here run about half an hour. With 3 batteries like that, I can use this thing non-stop. I have 1 battery that I'm using, 1 that's cooling down a little bit before I put it on the charger, and 1 that's on the charger, and I can keep rotating those out, and I can get as much work done in a day as I'd ever want to. So if you do have a large yard and you want to go electric, get yourself a couple extra batteries and you'll be good to go. The main reason I wanted to go ahead and get a gas-powered unit is the ability to also suck up leaves and shred them. Now on any gas powered blower you're going to have a standard nozzle like this, and you'll have a little tapered flat nozzle. So that's nothing unusual there. But the ability to suck up leaves and shred them is really handy, because I've got a number of flower beds here in the yard that leaves get trapped between the flower beds and the house, and the only way to get them out of there is to pick them up. I can't use a rake or anything like that. There's just not enough room, and there's nowhere to blow the leaves out to. Whenever I can, I blow the leaves into the grass and then mow them and shred them. But there's just a lot of manual hand pickup I have to do in the yard if I don't have a vacuum. And so I decided that I really wanted a vacuum and blower in addition to my electric one, just to use a couple of times out of the year. And so I wasn't going to buy another Husqvarna after all the problems I had with it. So I started investigating, and Stihl makes two models. They make the SH56 and the SH86. Now here's a little tip for you. Anytime you're looking at buying a gas-powered, or I guess it would be true of electric, but anytime you're looking to buy something for the yard, look at the warranty. Now, if the manufacturer offers a 1-year warranty for residential use and a 6-month warranty for commercial use, they're kind of telling you how long that thing's going to last. So Stihl has a 2-year commercial or residential warranty on the 56 and 86 blower vacuums. So that tells me they think it's a pretty good product if they're going to warranty it for 2 years, regardless of whether it's residential or commercial use. And so that kind of tells you they're going to stand behind the product. The other thing is, if you buy a Stihl 2-cycle powered lawn tool, when you buy the tool, if you will buy a 6-pack of their 2-cycle oil, or buy a can of their ready mix gas oil substitute, they will double your warranty. So by buying 6 of these, when I bought the blower, I'm now covered by a 4-year warranty. So I really recommend you pick up their 2-cycle oil if you buy one of their units. Okay, so to use this as a blower, it's ready to go. If I want to use this as a vacuum, I remove this blower tube, I attach the vacuum bag here, and I attach the suction tube here. Now this unit not only vacuums up the leaves, but it shreds them. And so it takes a lot of leaves to fill up this bag, but once it's full, all you do is undo the zipper on the end and give it a shake. The one thing I don't care for about the Stihl is you need a tool to switch out your tubes. So if I want to remove this, I'm supposed to take a flat blade screwdriver and push down in here to release a tab, rotate this, and then pull this tube off. Well, I don't want to walk around the yard with a screwdriver in my hip pocket, because I'm afraid I'll drop it in the yard and never find it again until maybe the next time I'm mowing and I hit it, or I'll forget it's in my back pocket, go in the house and sit down on the sofa and put a hole in the sofa. So I started looking around, and I have these tools that are meant to pop off body panels and trim on cars. And you can pick up a set of these tools at Harbor Freight for about 10 bucks. There's like 6 of them in the set. But this one in particular I got to looking at, and I said, you know what, that fits in that little slot just perfectly. but I don't really need the whole thing. So I got one of these and I cut it in half. Okay, so this half goes back in the toolbox. I can still use it. But now what I've got is this little tool that I've attached a carabiner to, and I keep this clipped to the leaf bag. So when I want to switch it from a leaf blower to a vacuum, I unclip the tool, push that in there, that comes off, take the tube off, attach this, then I've got to attach the suction tube here on the side, put the tool in, that releases this door, attach the suction tube, and I'm good to go. So I really recommend picking up one of those panel tools and making one of these of your own. Now this thing does blow a little faster and a bigger volume of air than the electric one does, so it's a little bit stronger in the yard, but to be honest with you, the other unit I had, the electric, was sufficient. So if I've already using the electric and I don't need to suck up any leaves, I'll just stick with the electric just because it's quieter and there's no vibration. It's a little more pleasant to use. But if I'm going to suck up leaves, and then I've got the tool to do the job now, and if I'm already using it, I'll probably just switch out the tube and go ahead and use it to blow leaves out too. But I'm real pleased with this. It starts on the first or second pull. The vibration and the noise is not near as bad as the Husqvarna I used to have. There's a couple of thoughtful design features on here the Husqvarna didn't have. The gas cap does not have a vent in it, whereas the vent used to clog up all the time on the Husqvarna. It doesn't have that. The warranty is twice as long. Another nice feature is the Husqvarna developed a hole in the bag here where the debris comes in and would hit the side of the bag. On the inside of this, Stihl has lined the bag with Tyvek over this area here, and so it's double thick where the leaves and debris come in. And so I thought that was a real nice design feature. They've really thought this through, and like I say, they've warranted it for 2 years for commercial usage, so that tells you it's a pretty well-built product. If you need a gas blower and you're thinking about maybe getting a vacuum, I can highly recommend the 86. Now, the store I went to doesn't sell the 56. They said they had a couple of those come back, so they only sell the model 86. But there is a smaller, lighter version if you're interested in that. So if you need a gas version, get the Stihl, get the 56 or the 86. If you think you might want an electric, try the BGA57. It is really impressive for an electric tool, and it may be all the tool you need. I hope you found this helpful. Please like and subscribe if you did.